Time for the news. Time for the news. That's right. Time for the news, y'all. Time for KP's video news. And what I'm going to do right here is it was a discussion that I was having with my niece that works in the field. She's in Arizona, Ayana, that she works in the field that helps homeless people and helps place homeless people and get them houses and housing and all that. And it was a topic that we were discussing. And thank you, Ayana, for sending me this story here and there. And I'm gonna go read the story because it's pretty long. It says there are thousands of empty hotel rooms across the USA. Why can't homeless people use them through the quarantine? And it's a guy, what's the lady here, Rosetta Johnson, and she sleeps in her car in New York City because she doesn't want to go to the shelter. And so as in normal times, Daryl Wright, 54 years old, and his friends would spend every evening collecting cardboard boxes to sleep on the Fifth Avenue corner, just 4 blocks away from the D.C. Dunce Tower and luxury Bergdorf Goodman department store. But when the coronavirus officially shut down New York on March 22nd, no stores meant there were no boxes. The gym where he showered and shaved had closed. The bathrooms at Grand Central Station and Penn Station were shut. The soup kitchens followed right after. That's when the reality and the despair hit, Rice told us. Said he slept on New York City streets for 2 years, but this time he worried how he would cope for months with no services. The Homeless Can't Stay Home campaign, run by a homeless advocacy group, paid for Rice to move into his own Midtown hotel room 2 weeks ago. His room had a queen-size bed, desk, and private bathroom. When he first arrived, he slept for nearly a day and a half straight. This has been a real blessing to get off my feet and to get some needed rest, he told BuzzFeed News. Housing people who are homeless in the thousands upon thousands of empty hotel rooms in the United States has become a major talking point, especially after photos emerged on social media last month of people sleeping in a temporary shelter set up in Las Vegas, a Las Vegas parking lot, as around 150,000 gleaming and empty casino hotel rooms sat nearby on the strip. And a tent shelter was later erected, but it said, why did people who are homeless need to sleep on the asphalt in marked off boxes? And they painted boxes on the ground to maintain social distancing when there were rooms nearby, 150,000 rooms. The argument has become popular among liberal lawmakers and homeless advocates. It would both protect the people who are homeless from getting sick, advocates argue, and protect the community at large by slowing the spread of the virus and sparing hospitals from being overwhelmed with the patient population that is especially vulnerable. Plus, it provides an income to hotels that are sitting empty. But is it as simple as an empty hotel room? Person who is homeless, a solution to homelessness during a health care crisis? It depends on who you ask. Rice said that if he were relying on the government, he would still be on the street. He said he refused to enter a shelter system because it's dangerous and would have made social distancing even more difficult. New York City has slowly been moving some shelter residents in the hotel rooms, particularly those who are over 70 years old or in locations where distancing is impossible. But unless they are sick, advocates say residents are sharing a twin room, not in their own individual room. Rice understands why New York Governor Andrew Cuomo called images of people who are homeless sleeping on subways during the crisis disgusting and disrespectful to the essential workers who need to ride the subway system, noting that they are just searching for the safest and warmest place to sleep. Unless you isolate people on the street, your problem is going to be exacerbated, Rice said, adding that most people who live on the street would happily move into their own hotel room to help themselves and the general public. It's best for everybody to put people up in the hotel rooms, he said. As private businesses, Hotels do not have to open their doors unless they want to. Many have laid off their staff and closed. The city of Las Vegas uh, stated that the county did attempt to work with hotel partners, but deals were not able to be ironed out. And Clark County did not respond to a request for comment. In California, Governor Gavin Newsom announced that the state had secured 15,000 hotel rooms to house people experiencing homelessness under the Project Room Key in collaboration with Motel 6. It prioritized people over 65 and anyone with COVID-19 symptoms who were exposed and needed to self-quarantine. In Los Angeles, which like New York has a dire problem with homelessness, it is estimated that nearly 60,000 people were homeless there in 2019. Officials are pushing hard to make hotel rooms available to pay for the rooms. Officials drawing on a variety of emergency sources, including funds from FEMA and the state. Sarah Dosal, the chairman of the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority, said the county is embracing the hotel solution. The Homelessness Authority invited the media to a Swank West Side hotel earlier this month to witness residents who are homeless moving in. The authority said it refused to allow the media to name the hotel in order to prevent it from being overwhelmed with eager, unauthorized guests. It noted that the rooms usually go for $389 a night. Officials have refused to say how much government is paying for such rooms, but some advocates say that the rate for local governments in California is anywhere from $40 to $100 a night. Many hotels battered by the steep declines in their business are eagerly joining the program. Dussault said others are joining after officials encourage their civic spirit. California officials have the power to commandeer hotel rooms, but so far have not. But as of Wednesday, Los Angeles County had placed only 1,300 people in hotel rooms as part of Project Room Key, and certain California cities, including Laguna Hills and Laguna Woods, sued the state and protested hotels in their communities. Always somebody, man. Attorney Kelly Richardson represented the cities in 2 lawsuits and argued that they are concerned about bringing sick residents into hotels in senior communities. No one wants to deal with the disease issue, portraying it as unfairly as an anti-homeless issue, Richardson told. Why would you want your grandmother, grandfather living next to an infectious disease facility when the U.S. government has told you the senior citizens are the most severely endangered? Ayers Hotel in Laguna Woods, a community predominantly made up of senior citizens, had been earmarked to be used as part of Project Room Key. After the lawsuit, Ayers scrapped its plans. The hotel did not respond to a request for comment. And so I think sometimes when people have righteous zeal to try to do what they think is right, sometimes you can make a decision that are not completely thought through, Richardson said. And I think this is an instance. My client's safety has been jeopardized by people invoking the concept of the greater good. New York has the largest homeless population in the country, estimated at about 80,000 people. Most live in shelters, but more than 3,000 people are estimated to be on the street. The city has been slower to adapt the radical strategies being employed across the country to move at-risk people into hotels. On Thursday, Cuomo and Bill de Blasio announced New York City subway would be shut nightly between 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. for cleaning. Both officials noted it would help discourage people who are homeless from sleeping on the subway. If you're not going back and forth all night on a train, you're coming above ground, said de Blasio, arguing that closing subways will get homeless people into shelters and using social services. Advocates, including members of the city council and a coalition of homeless groups, have been pushing to make up 30,000 of the city's 100,000 empty hotel rooms available to people who are homeless using a variety of emergency funding sources. The New York City Council is currently debating a bill led by Speaker Corey Johnson to ensure people who are homeless are allowed an individual hotel room to help them quarantine safely during the pandemic. At least a dozen New Yorkers who are homeless or formerly homeless, some of them sitting on their shelter beds on Zoom called into the council committee hearing last week to speak on support of the bill. So I refuse to go to a shelter because I refuse to lose my life, said Rosetta Johnson, who sleeps in her car, told the committee hearing that I don't want to die because I'm homeless. When asked if she was moving to a hotel room, Johnson noted that she would refuse it if she had to share a room. What if they murder me, rob me, beat me up? What if they have COVID and give it to me? She said, if someone offered me a hotel room by myself, absolutely, I would go, absolutely. Another person, Christoph Meyer, explained that he normally slept in apartment lobbies, doorways, or in the subway, and that he had moved into a private hotel room by the Homeless Can't Stay Home campaign after he contracted COVID-19. I can't say how much it means to have a place like this to get healthy and well, he said, calling in from the hotel room in Manhattan. The GoFundMe from the Homeless Can't Stay Home campaign has raised $58,000, which had paid for 27 New Yorkers to move into hotel rooms for an average of $50 a night. And it's really frustrating. The city is not taking the action they need to, said Dean, who added the campaign has shown that moving people into hotels is an effective and easy plan to implement. People should not be going to congregate settings. People should be going from the street only into their own space. And that's a wonderful story. And it's like, it has its pros and cons, where some people are fighting against it as always. It's like you have people out there that would rather feed a dog than feed a homeless human being. And I don't understand that mentality. And and some one of these days the people will have to pay.
I said it's time for the KP video news. Time for the news.
Peace.